everyone, I'm Sara Dittrich and I'm an artist living in Baltimore, Maryland. I've been a professional practicing artist for about the past 9 years. I originally am from Cincinnati, Ohio, but made my way to Baltimore when I went to college at the Maryland Institute College of Art. Today I'm here in my studio where I'm going to share a bit about my art practice and what I've been working on. So in my practice, I use a lot of different materials or different mediums. I don't stick to just one thing. I tend to use some traditional materials like wood or paper, but also more experimental materials such as sound or interactive electronic sensors, which I can show some examples of in a little bit. The way I got into art making is I originally started out with just a kind of beginner interest in the traditional painting, drawing, and when I went to college, my eyes were opened up to all these different ways of making and expressing yourself that I had never known before. I was really inspired by musical instruments as I have a background in music where I played the alto saxophone. In high school, I was in band, jazz band, and marching band. So I really loved this idea of like being in a group, playing music together. And when I went to college, I started making these wooden sculptures inspired by musical instruments, and that led to learning about performance art, where I could kind of use my sculptural objects in performances, and then that led to learning video so that I could document the performances, and from there I learned more about electronics and robotics and more of the digital side of art making. And now, most recently, I've been learning printmaking techniques to kind of create artifacts from those performances and digital installations. So currently, the body of work I've been working on has been really inspired by nature, and this work started for me when I went to an artist residency in 2018-2019. Artist residencies are a place where artists can go, and they're all a little bit different, but in general they provide artists a place to live in a studio space, and you're just there to focus on your artwork and make art. And so it was a really inspiring atmosphere for me. It was located in Provincetown, Massachusetts, which is on the tip of Cape Cod, which is like a little spit of glacial sand and debris left from the Ice Age out in the Atlantic Ocean. So it's this really fragile, natural environment where you really become aware of the landscape that you're in. You see these big sand dunes shifting every day from the winds, and then you see the tide rising and falling really dramatically every day. There, the tidal range could be up to 14 feet, so sometimes you would see a boat floating in the water, and 12 hours later it would be sitting in the sand because the tide had gone out. And so I was really inspired by those observations, and that's what really inspired some of these current projects that I've been working on.
This is an example of a breath sensor I've created. The way it works is it wraps around your waist or diaphragm, and it's able to tell how much you're breathing based on how much it stretches. And then this is an example of a footstep sensor that I created. Here's the other one. So you put one in each of your shoes, in the heel of the shoe, and based on the amount of pressure you're putting down in your heel, it can sense if you've taken a step or not. And then this is a heartbeat sensor that I've used in a few different projects, and I just buy this one, but I'm able to integrate it in a lot of different ways, so it's really fun to use.
Here's a quick example of one of my projects. It is titled Turn of the Tide, and it's an installation and performance art piece. As the performer inhales, the tide in the projected video rises. As the performer exhales, the tide recedes. The installation is controlled in real time from the wireless breath sensor. The video time-lapse used in the piece was filmed in Provincetown. I think making this kind of artwork is really important because it can help the viewers see what they weren't aware of before. It can shift their perspective, change their point of view, give them a different way of looking at a situation or an environment that they otherwise would have never thought of. It also can just be kind of magical. You can use art to kind of create these magical experiences or feelings that otherwise you're not able to. Okay, that's all I have to share today. Thank you so much, and I look forward to working with you all on the Illuminating Seeds project.